Whether you like it or not, I believe AI is the next narrative for 2025. So in this video, I'm going to give you the best AI altcoin that has already been doing fantastic, but I still believe we are getting in on the ground floor. So just keep that in mind as we're going through this video. There's going to be many other AI altcoins, but unfortunately you can't choose them all, because if you're choosing them all, and let's say you have $1,000 to invest, then you might try and split it up 200, 200, 200, 200. There's more than 10 altcoins, or AI altcoins should I say. So the more deeper you go, if you have a certain amount of money, because let's be honest, we all have a certain amount of money, the less returns you're going to get because you're so spread. So that is why I believe, in my opinion, 1 or 2 AI coins maximum. And I do believe most AI solid coins, and I mean solid coins, not meme coins, etc., will have good long-term gains. And again, these long-term gains are by 2025. So let's discuss in the video what actually I'm talking about with AI coin. You've already seen it in the thumbnail, but let's get into it. So firstly, the title. This was under $1 not too long ago. So it's actually a little bit higher than that, but I just put it in because, let's be honest, $1 sounds better. Hopefully you guys understand. Number 1, AI altcoins are going to be the next narrative. 2 things I want to remember: Bitcoin and Ethereum won't make you a millionaire, in my opinion, and I think we can all agree to this. And if you don't agree to this, you're living in that Bitcoin's going to $1 million, like Plan B or Plan C, whatever his name was talking about in 2021. Michael Saylor was talking about in 2021. We didn't even get 100K. And Ethereum, people were saying, yeah, 30, 50, 60 odd K. In 2021, we didn't even get 5 grand, dudes. Now, I do believe one day these coins will eventually go there, of course, well, because just inflation, etc., will automatically push that up. But I'm here for 2025, dudes. So we're not going to be getting rich unless you have hundreds of thousands of dollars in the market. Yeah, you'll be a millionaire then, but chances are you have less than 10 grand, maybe 5 grand. Some people even have 1 grand. So there's absolutely 0 point, in my opinion, on investing in Bitcoin and Ethereum with that amount of money for 2025. Have a long-term strategy, like a long 2065, whatever, but I want to get rich in 2025, not 2035, 45. Now this coin, Render, is outperforming BTC so badly. And this is what you want to look at. When coins are absolutely rallying compared to Bitcoin, this is fantastic. So obviously we're talking about Render, as you guys know, and I was bashing on about AI coins, etc. Round about here or so, regardless, it has started to go. And again, when I said the title of this video under $1, yeah, not too long ago it was under $1. Now the blooming thing's at $2.50, and again we're seeing another green candle. So I do still think this is early days, and we're going to talk about the why. You can see in the previous run, you know, what this coin did. It literally went straight up. I do believe we're going to see similar things with this before, and we're going to go way past the $8. I'll give you my price predictions at the end of this video, and you can let me know if I am being a moon boy or not. So here's some digging on Render will do well as a project, excluding AI hype. So what I want to make abundantly clear to you dudes is, number 1, AI coins are going to do well even if they have AI in their name. That's kind of annoying, but it's also a blessing in disguise, because imagine if you can have a coin that is already strongly known with AI, but you can also have a team, an actual real world project that has use cases, and you can use this to get the full potential with the next bull run. So I found this on Twitter, no, I think it was Reddit, whatever, and I wanted to dig this up because this pretty much summed it better than I could. Here's what Render tries to do. Now the Render token is a project aimed at utilizing GPU power to process graphical workloads. Basically like Ethereum, but when you run a node, you're just excluding codes but rendering graphics. You don't need me to repeat what's going on in CoinMarketPage. So I'm going to share my view on the project and what the future holds. Now here's the issue. The current GPU, and this is what they're trying to solve. Again, if a product, a crypto actually tries to solve a real world problem where the big investors can get in, usually you will see the test of time. This is why I like HBAR, although the price action doesn't represent it yet, but by 2025, I do believe it will. It is the sleeping giant in my opinion. So the GPU market is filled with gaming cards, thanks to silicon shortages and crypto mining have resulted in making graphics rendering super expensive for institutionals. Again, institutional money, just like Ethereum, this is why I like Ethereum and a lot of people don't. These guys don't give an F about paying $100, $1,000 gas fees. Keep that in mind, and it's the same kind of thing here. If we're trying to solve problems for institutions, like moving money or fixing the big expensive rendering, it's super good. Media, movies, Hollywood, services like Amazon Web Service are enough to satisfy these needs, which is the problem, but they can get pretty expensive fast. Now the solution, this is where Render comes into play, it can utilize a node runner GPU to compare graphic rendering for a fee. When you finish a gaming session on a 360 Ti, somebody let me know what the F that is. I'm guessing it's a graphics card or something. Maybe it's not, but I think it is. You can start the node before you head to sleep, and these institutions can utilize those GPU cores while you're sleeping. And if you want to make a true metaverse where everything is powered by everyone, Render can do that. Want to render a high quality 3D mockup for your metaland? Guess what? Use Render. Heck, even indie gaming studios can use Render to make new games. You no longer need top of the line hardware for AWS, since Render can do it for far cheaper. And you know what's funny, just when I read that, dudes, this is exactly, I like Gala Games as well. So I like the AI space. I also like the gaming space, and I do believe these are going to be narratives like we've seen in the previous run, 2021, Gala Games, all these other gaming coins were doing fantastic, Axie Infinity. So again, when I'm talking about positioning my altcoins, I am exposed to the gaming. I want to get exposed to AI. I'm exposed to like real world projects like Hedera and big companies that use their product for their services. I'm also exposed to some Bitcoin, and I also have Ethereum as well, because that is the daddy altcoin, and that's almost guaranteed a 5x or a 4x, whatever. I'm exposed, and this is what's super important. When people look at AI coins, they only look at AI coins and they buy 10 of them, and sure, it might work out well, but you're going to miss all these other spaces. Just keep that in mind. So the scalability factor, someone's, let's just say, bought a 390 to render the 3D worlds. You can use RAM usage pretty quick, and now you have built another PC. But using Render Network, you can do as much power as you want and afford and scale the entire network to your heart's content. It is partnered with Brave, so big partners, Algo, Decentralized, and even film studios like Built Robot Production, which made movies like Star Trek, Star Wars, and other sci-fi figures. That was very hard to digest, even for somebody like me, because it talks about all these fancy little words, and I'm sure you guys are on the same page. But here's some massive use cases, boys. Absolute massive use cases, along with, remember, the next narrative. If we do believe AI coins in our next narrative, imagine having an AI coin, said this before, that actually solves a real problem. Unlike AI DOD, do you know what I mean? Like just something that's just a complete scam, a complete pump and dump, which is fine, ride them if you want. But imagine if you had both. You have the AI narrative and you have a real product that has been around since the last run and is starting to move again. I don't know about you, but that just gets me tingly. It just wants me to chuck money at this coin, but unfortunately I can't buy it yet, and we'll talk about that at the end. But basically, it's just moved too fast when I was looking into it, and I did not follow my own advice on using the Gordon gauge when it called it flipping perfect here when we flipped, and it literally 5x'd in a short amount of time. Keep that in mind, so as we're going through this, you'll understand. Now, huge team and serious players. Combined with what we just talked about, the problems, the AI narrative, guess what, dudes? They've got some big team members, and they're not afraid to dox themselves. When I look at crypto projects these days, what I see is cats, NFT as their pictures, and I just see random stock images from Google. They're not even real people. I've not yet seen, there's a few projects of course, but I've not seen a core team as big as this that are fully doxed, and it just keeps going, and I especially haven't seen them with all these big partners in the news, etc. What I will say is the Twitter page could do with some work, as their marketing isn't that great, but I'm sure these guys already have that, on lockdown, and that's what's coming to see. Now again, here's the problems they're trying to solve that we just talked about. They have a growing monthly users, which is great. We need to bump that up, obviously. But again, these guys are just building in a bear market. And when I look at projects, if these guys are building in a bear market, when most projects are just going to come, scam you, and then effing leave and do it all over again, Render has been around for fucking ages, bro. For effing ages for an AI altcoin, so just keep that in mind. This is what we need to do where we can expect to go in the next bull run. Few things for speculative purposes. Do we believe AI is the next narrative? Well, I do, and I've presented my case why. Do we believe Render itself will ride that wave? I do, because guess what? Unfortunately, it has AI in its name. It's not unfortunately, but it's unfortunately, like a lot of people do this. It's an AI project. Most people know it for, AI like Fetch, like Ocean Protocol, like most of the other big ones. And I do believe it has use cases as well, like we've talked about, massive use cases. Now, do we believe Render Projects has use cases? Like I just said, I do, we talked about that. Do we believe, this is the big one, because if this doesn't happen and Bitcoin, obviously Bitcoin controls the market, it doesn't matter how many use cases. But what does matter is you can stand the test of time, because it will happen. Whether that happens in 2025, like I ultimately think it will, but even if I'm wrong on that, because nobody can tell you the exact answer, maybe 2026, guess what? I am still earning, I have another year to invest. Do we believe in an AI altcoin season mania? What I mean by that is this shit. I do. Sounds like I'm getting married to somebody. Combine all these four, and what do you get? you get this. You get a straight line up with everything lining in tech. And like I said, this is the bear market, dudes. A bear market. And look what this coin's doing. Think about that. If you look at Bitcoin, it's annoying because CoinMarketCap doesn't let you do year to date anymore, which kind of sucks. I wish they would bring that back. But if you do Bitcoin, you're actually down. Render, you're up 5x or so. There's the difference. So is your coin beating Bitcoin? If it is, you're doing fantastic. If your coin isn't beating Bitcoin, you might as well just hold Bitcoin. With all that in mind, I believe Render will absolutely surpass its previous all-time high, which was roughly $9. I do believe it is a $15 minimum token. It probably will go higher, but just to get back to its previous all-time high, like I said, it would be much better back in here. It was a 18x or so. Now it's only a 4.5x, maths, 4x. So there's still gains to the previous all-time high, but I think we're going to rally way past it, and I do think we're going to get this shit again. Absolutely. Again, ask yourself these questions. If you are looking at this coin, maybe wait a little bit until we get some cool off, because it probably will happen. I want to buy this coin under $1, just like the title suggests. Can we get it under $1? If it's not going to happen, I might have to miss this one, because I definitely don't want to buy it if it's $3.50, $4.50. I like buying shit cheap. I like getting a discount, because again, you only make money if you're actually selling on the price. Nobody makes money if you're buying at the peak. With all that being said, guys, let me know what you think of Render. I'll see you in the comments.